Brookgreen Gardens president and CEO is a Jewell, and he's lighting up the holidays. What's it all about? You'll find out coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the M. Russell Holiday Cottage at Brookgreen Gardens, the largest outdoor sculpture garden in the world, and the home of Nights of 1,000 Candles, which kicks off today, running from 3 to 10 p.m. We're focused on Brookgreen and the Nights of 1,000 Candles, and we're visiting with its president and CEO, the Honorable Bob Jewell, and a member of the Georgetown County School Board. Good
Correct.
morning, Bob.
Yeah, good morning.
Obviously, the honorable thing. Have you gotten used to being called the honorable?
No, I really haven't. but
you remind your wife
if it starts to go to my head, my wife brings me down to
Tony pulls you.
Absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't take her long at all.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. You ran last year, was it?
It was 4 years ago. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll be coming up for re-election next November.
Wow.
So yeah, it's amazing how fast that time went.
That's
really
a big time commitment. Outside of working for a nonprofit group like Brookgreen Gardens, you've got to be focused on education.
Yes. It is a big commitment, and I gave it a lot of thought before I decided to run, and I'm really glad I did. It's just, it's something that I feel very passionate about, education, and trying to continually improve the standards that we have in Georgetown County and in the state of South Carolina. And the end result is a positive for the kids. So I get really excited about it, and it doesn't seem like it's a real challenge for me to find the time, because I enjoy it so much.
Sure.
And when you enjoy something, the time goes quickly.
When your own kids were in school, had you thought at any time prior, either in Ohio or Wisconsin or anywhere?
Yeah, well, it's kind of an interesting story, because someone presented me with the opportunity of running for the school board.
Right.
And our youngest son, Colin, had been through the Waccamaw schools here. Our other two kids had already graduated and were in college when we moved here 12 years ago.
Right.
So I had some concerns about the schools, to be very candid, and I voiced those. And when the opportunity came up for me to run, I wasn't going to do it because Colin had finished high school, was on his way to college, and Tony, my wife, said, "Bob, you either run or never, ever voice your opinion again." I said, "Okay, you're right."
Wow.
So I did, and I really have been very pleased that I did. Some wonderful people in the school district, some wonderful administrators, teachers, principals in this county are just fabulous. So, and they have a tough job, very tough job, with all the accountability standards at the federal level and the state level, and then the local challenges that they have make for a very complex job and career.
Much like ORE, where we think of geographically the largest county in the state, Georgetown, I think, is the fourth largest county in the state, where oftentimes you'll see pockets of wealth or pockets of strong, and then you've got a lot of rural area. And so to match those, the dichotomy there for you and the school board to think about real pockets of tough poverty in other areas like this Waccamaw Neck, that's a big deal to bring those votes together and make sure there's a consensus.
Oh, you're right. And one of the issues we face in the state and in both counties, really, high school graduation rates. And it's something that we've placed a lot of emphasis on in Georgetown County. We have a group of people that have developed a task force, and then each school has a committee that addresses that specific issue. How do we get more kids through high school? How do we get more kids graduating from these schools so they can go out and get decent jobs and they can be productive members of our society? And we feel we're making some real progress. We really do. And it's something you have to get at the micro level. You can have policies and strategies, at a macro level, but to make it happen and to impact a child's life, you have to get right there in front of them. And that's what we're trying to do.
Positioning those children for the future in jobs ties in well to your day job. And
it does.
Your day job is right here, and the day kicks off early, getting ready for 3 p.m. today when folks start flooding in for Nights of 1,000 Candles. This is not the first year of Nights of 1,000 Candles.
Now, actually, this is the 9th year
Wow.
of NOTC, but it has improved every year. It's improved in terms of the quality of the presentation, the quality of the entertainers, quality of the food, quality of the operation to support people that come in here. And we've just been extremely pleased the last 3 years.
Yeah.
We really have, because our attendance 3 years ago, it really started to move up. And there was a correlation between that and the quality of the event moving up.
Oh, yeah.
And one of our strategies has been to turn this into the regional holiday event in our state. And we feel we've pretty much accomplished that.
You've reached that. Now
Yeah.
it's going to become, working on it becoming not only the regional, but the national.
Oh, absolutely.
holiday
Yeah.
event.
I mean,
I'm sure you're
as you know, I've lived all over the country,
Right.
and honestly, I've never participated in an event as good as this for the holiday.
Is there another
It's-
Nights of a Thousand Candles anywhere in the country?
There are, yeah. The Desert Botanical Garden in Phoenix has been doing one for about 30 years.
Okay, yeah.
And it's a program that's caught on because, all the not-for-profit institutions are looking for ways to generate cash so they can operate.
Yeah.
And, it's like a business. Everyone watches what the other person is doing. And I think people have seen the success that these events have had in terms of the offering to their members and the guests in the surrounding communities, but also from the business side, the cash that it generates to help support the institution.
Right. When you take a great idea like the one in Phoenix and make it better.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's done right here. And
We had 17,000 people last year. And
that's a conservative number, Bob. You had to have more folks in that.
well,
Yeah.
everyone gets compressed,
Right,
and
sure.
so the density level's fairly high.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
but this year we're looking at having over 20,000 people.
Wow.
So.
Of course, you've added a night or two.
We have.
Is it 7 nights?
Yes. We last year we got together, and we do this every year as a staff and our volunteers, which we could not do this
A lot of
event without.
volunteers.
We
Right.
really couldn't. And I asked everyone for their input, and I received a lot of input from our volunteers and from our staff, lots of critiques, what we did right, what we did wrong. And then we got together and sorted through those and had meetings and tried to make changes operationally. One of the suggestions was that we open an additional night, maybe 3 additional nights. We decided to open 1 additional night. Then we expanded the hours. We're now opening this evening at 3,
Right.
and we will close at 10.
10 o'clock.
In prior
okay.
years, we closed at 9.
Right.
So we feel that will help.
Right.
We've expanded our admissions plaza. We'll have another lane open. We added an acceleration and deceleration lane at the front entrance that was not there last year.
Right.
That was done through the help of Vita Miller and Ray Cleary, who really helped us get the funds to do that.
Yeah, it's gorgeous out there.
So
easy coming in early this morning at 6 a.m. to think about getting in here for the interview, and
Right.
obviously it's fantastic.
Well, we're hoping that helps alleviate some of the traffic jams. And we've worked with the Georgetown County Sheriff's Office to have more presence right at the front entrance from them, and I think that will help too. So, in the parking, we've arranged differently, and we've made a lot of operational changes, but we've also made a lot of changes to the quality of the program, and I think people will be very, very excited. I know we are.
Oh, yeah, well, for you, and of course, as you say, it's so much volunteer-driven. Obviously, you've got a tremendous staff here, but without the volunteers, it's great always to think when you're in an expanse like this, you're thinking, how could they be run so well in such this gigantic territory? How could it operate so efficiently? But it's thanks to a lot of tremendous volunteers.
Oh, the volunteers are wonderful, and what we do as a team here is we make sure the volunteers try our best to be sure that the volunteers know everything the staff knows, and we have volunteer meetings. Quarterly, we convey all the information about the programs we're offering, any changes that have been made. So my objective is to be sure they know everything we know. And even some of our culture programs that we do for our people, we have a culture award program for our staff, for managers and non-managers. We do the same thing with our volunteers. And it's a simple little statement with about 14 elements of how we want to live our lives here at Brookgreen, to be respectful of one another, to be a team, to pay attention to detail, manage by walking around, all of those things. And we share that not only with our staff, but with the volunteers. And that really helps to have a cohesive presentation, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
we fail once in a while, but we get back up.
Quickly, absolutely. Well, of course, a lot of viewers now are probably thinking, how can I volunteer? Or I want to learn more about Nights of a Thousand Candles. What's the best way? Is there a phone number or a website? What's the best phone number to call?
Well, the best phone number to call for Nights of a Thousand Candles is 235-6000.
Okay,
and then our website is www.brookgreen.org.
very
and
easy.
we have a very comprehensive website and has lots of information about Nights of a Thousand Candles, and then some of our programs that we will be offering the beginning of next year.
Absolutely.
So.
And for our viewers in the PD in southeastern North Carolina who'd want to come down, obviously a lot of the information, the schedule. We'll talk about some of the stuff that kicks off today.
Okay.
Obviously hearing names like Rocky Fretz and Bill Oberst and so many others that you've had year after year, but folks that a lot of new stuff coming up for Nights of a Thousand Candles over the next 6-7 days. A big year, but they can easily come on down if they're coming down 17 bypass. That's what I was about to highlight for viewers coming in from the PD who want to make this highlight that aspect of it being a great regional event. If they're coming down, it's real easy to find Brookgreen Gardens.
Oh, very easy. Yeah, absolutely. You get on 17 and you will find it. And our front entrance has been enhanced, and we're very, very proud of that front entrance. The Fighting Stallions now are displayed appropriately, and they're on a large pedestal. We have the entrance line with oak trees, so it's a very good presentation.
It is.
And you cannot miss it.
You can't miss it.
Yeah,
That's
especially at night.
Even at night. I was about to say even at night, but you threw in especially at night.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
Well, and we have posters at the mile mark on the north and south. Those are also lit up. So, I love marketing. And when I first got here, we didn't have lights on those. And I said, how many cars pass those posters every night? Like 30,000.
Right.
So we had lights.
And particularly with night starting so much earlier now, it's perfect to really get those up. When you say posters, you're not talking about these kind of posters that we have spread out on the table. You mean big boards that viewers will see if they're coming in from the PD. They're not going to get lost. Just get on 17 and start heading down to Pawleys Island. It'll be on the right or vice versa. If they're coming up from Georgetown, obviously they wouldn't have any trouble finding it.
Correct.
Let's focus a little bit on the schedule. Obviously, today, events kicking off.
Yeah, tonight, we're starting. We're very excited about it. Staff has really been pumped up all week. We have three mainstays, really: Rocky Fretz, Bill Oberst, and then Vocal Edition. They will be with us every night of the event, all 7 nights. Okay, you can come and you can see all 3 of them or one of them, however you would like to make your visit work.
And how about a little bit on each one of those for folks who...
Well, Rocky is kind of a local legend. He's the piano man, basically, of this area, and he's here a lot. We have him for cool summer evenings and for NOTC, obviously, and he'll come for other performances on occasion, and people just love him. They absolutely love him, and justifiably so. He's very, very talented.
He's a
great entertainer.
Sure is.
Bill Oberst does the Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol, and Bill Oberst is amazing. He's absolutely amazing. I've seen him in various performances, and how one human being can comprehend the various roles that he does, because he's a one-person version of the Christmas Carol.
Of everything,
He plays all the parts.
Unbelievable.
And, I've seen it probably 4 or 5 times, and I marvel every time I watch him. So.